When you look at the backside of the Nigerian currency, 20 naira note, what comes to your mind? A woman with pots around, or a woman making pot, you call her a porter. And you will say she is Ladi Kwali because you check the name beneath the picture. Or maybe someone told you about her, or you read from somewhere about that porter called Ladi Kwali. Have you ever wondered how she was able to find a place in the heart of Nigeria's own currency? Have you ever thought of the fact that she is the only female to have that honor? What's so special about this woman? I mean, what's so special about this woman called Ladi Kwali? This woman who could not read and write, yet she taught the whites. She couldn't read and write, yet she was awarded an MBE. She became a member of the most excellent order of the British Empire. She couldn't read and write. She had a silver award for excellence. She couldn't read and write, but she had the Nigerian National Order of Merit Award, the highest national honor for academic achievement in 1980. She couldn't read and write, yet she received the national honor of the Officer of the Order of Niger and was awarded a doctorate degree by the Ahmadu Bello University of Zaria in 1977. She couldn't read and write, yet places are named after her. What is so special about this woman called Ladi Kwali? She was no superwoman. She was an ordinary woman with flesh and blood like you and I. A woman born into a family where indigenous females of where she came from are poetry makers. She learned poetry from her aunt. The same poetry style every female from where she came from learned. The traditional art of poetry using the coiling and pinching method. The same style. For this woman called Ladi Kwali, who is no superwoman, but an ordinary woman with flesh and blood like you and I, put her heart into poetry making. She took it as life. She was so passionate about what she did, and her passion, consistency, and connection with the spirit of her craft made her work find its place to the king, the emir of Abuja. He was so interested in her and her work that he filled his palace with this ordinary woman's work to decorate his palace. She became so popular in a circle that before any of her collections got to the market, it was sold out already. Yet she was an ordinary woman with flesh and blood like you and I. Not like there were no potters around, but she was highly favored. Not a favor that comes without labor. She labored. One would think the emir's palace, the king's palace, was the greatest height her work would get to. Little did anyone know that that so-called great height was a stepping stone to her being announced all over the world. Michael Cargill, an English poetry studio porter, was sent to Nigeria to begin a poetry training center. In his early days of arriving in Nigeria, he had a contact with Ladi Kwali's work that was in the king's palace. Michael Cargill became interested in this woman and her work. Michael Cargill decided he was going to meet with this woman whose work struck his heart in the emir's palace. Yes, they did meet, and she became the first female in the poetry training center he started. Meeting Michael Cargill was a breaking point for Ladi Kwali. I say again, meeting him was a breaking point for Ladi Kwali. Of course, she had a name in a circle before he came into the picture. But that was the breaking point she met in Michael Cardew. She learned the Western poetry style from him while at the training center and decided to add it to what she already knew, the Gwari traditional poetry style. This made her work increase in its beauty and ability to make waves for her beyond the country. She stayed with Michael Cardew as an instructor in the Poetry Training Center and also an apprentice under him, despite the fact she made a name amongst her people before he came into the picture. God has a way of lifting people up. God has a way of elevating people. Michael Cardew is the one God used and taken this woman called Ladi Kwali beyond the shores of her village and her country. She desired more, to take what she knew and what she can do to other people around the world. It happened with the help of this man called Michael Cardew. This ordinary woman with flesh and blood like you and I changed the face of modern poetry around the world. She traveled the world. This woman who could not read and write. This woman who could not read and write. This woman who was an illiterate yet impacted the world. Ladi Kwali was no goddess, no superwoman. One thing I appreciate most in her story is that she never stopped learning. She never stopped improving. She never stopped giving out what God had placed in her hands to lift other people up. She never stopped. And she stooped low when she needed to. Ladi Kwali is a woman with no superpowers. A woman with no superpowers, yet she made her way to the heart of excellence. Ladi Kwali's legacy will never be forgotten, as she has rained down that strength to every woman, every human, to be passionate about what the Lord has given unto you, to be excellent and needs to appreciate what the Lord has given unto you, whether small or big, and never stop learning, never stop improving, never stop